about that time. Marla, would you please lead us in prayer?
Most gracious Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this day. We thank you for sending your Son Jesus to die on the cross for our sins. Lord, we just thank you for the many blessings you give us each day. And be with us as we have this meeting, that it would be held in honor of you. These things we ask in thy name. Amen.
If you would remain standing and say pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, don't ask me to sing God Bless America.
All right, I'd like to go ahead and call this meeting to order. And Lucy, would you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. Myrtle. Here. Eugene.
Here.
Steve.
Here.
John. Mayor.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
All right, thank you very much. If you have a cell phone, if you would please mute or turn them off until the meeting is over with. We'd greatly appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and start with the minutes from the December 10th meeting.
December 10, 2018, the mayor staff called to order the regular meeting of the council at 7 p.m. on December 10, 2018, in the town hall. The invocation was given by Mr. Don Hayes. The roll call was had. The following persons were present: Mayor Arthur Sell, Councilors Myrtle Van Fleet, Eugene Coffey, and John King. I put two Anns over there, John King and Steve Brooks. Brenda Lowe was absent. The minutes from November were read, and a motion to accept them with correction was made by Eugene Coffey and seconded by Steve Brooks. Motion carried. Financial reports from November were given. A motion to accept them was made by Steve Brewer and seconded by Myrtle Van Fleet. Motion carried. The clerk reported that she had been in touch with the engineer at Alpine Power, and they were still working on the street light repair orders. The engineer asked us to tie a ribbon around the poles in the future, and the repairing will remove them upon doing its repair. The mayor is still planning to get an estimate for a digital door lock to be installed on the front door. No changes in finding someone to assume responsibility for the hanging wire at Ivy Lane. No changes in the broken storm drain cover on Green Acres Boulevard. Still waiting on that notice. New business, there was a discussion about the fire hydrants. Their self-produced a map that locates all our fire hydrants. This was shared with Fire Chief Miller of Dallas Central Fire Department. Also, the clerk was asked to contact the Birmingham Water Works Board and ask if we are paying for the hydrant on Coppersville Road. Mayor Self asked the clerk to contact the Blount County Commissioner Washburn's office to have a new directional sign installed on County Line Road. This sign had been taken out by a wrecked automobile. The person's insurance is to pay for the sign installation. There was discussion about replacing the street sign at Green Acres Lane. Mayor Self informed us that this street was not owned by the town of County Line, but rather by Van Mobile. Fire Chief Miller asked for Mayor Self's support in a meeting with the Jefferson County EMA. There are details that must be worked out for the Dallas Delta Fire Department to take over this service area. A motion to adjourn was made by Myrtle Van Fleet and seconded by Steve Rule. Motion carried. Meeting adjourned at 7:35 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Brenda Philpott and Clerk Lucy Cotton, Assistant. And I'll take care of that right there on the end of the
Any
roll
other
call.
corrections or comments? All right, do we have a motion to accept with changes?
I make a motion with several changes.
All right. Steve made the motion. John seconded. All in favor? Unanimous? All right, let's cover the financial reports. Let's start with the general fund account. All right, our beginning balance was $22,548.72. And our ending balance was $21,593.02.
You need these.
No. This is fine, the reports. All right, next one is the 2 and 7 account. The beginning balance was $9,652.33. And our ending balance was $7,846.81. You'll see that on the 2 and 7 account,
Yes.
that 1430 check
Okay, that
with the correction or move to the correct
that was
account.
the move. That's what was moved.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, 4, 5, and 6 accounts. Beginning balance is $8,232.86. And our ending balance was $8,437.13. And the final one is the capital improvement fund. The beginning and ending balance was $8,118.32. Any questions or comments on the financial reports? All right, do we have a motion to accept? As read?
I make a motion we accept.
I'll second it.
All right. Eugene made the motion. Myrtle seconded. All in favor? That's unanimous. Okay. No reports, standing committees, special committees, reports of officers. And going back to old business, let me just comment on a couple of things on the from the minutes of the last meeting. The ribbons were tied to all the poles, but I think we still have a couple of lights still out. 18, and I believe 2 down here are still out. The one curve has finally been fixed. So I mean, 4 months.
Is that the one that, the one in the curve is one that still has ribbon on it? doesn't it?
It does. say-
Probably does.
Yeah, so,
But it's on.
It is on. Anyway,
so 18 and 2 are still out.
yes, I know 18 is, and I'm pretty sure 2 still is also. And both of those have ribbons tied around them.
Is it okay if I ask them this time, do we keep paying for, we've
We
been
need-
paying
we
for
need,
every month
credit.
that they've been out, and is it possible we got a credit on these?
No, they
This
will
next
give us a
month.
credit on it, and we have to ask for it.
But I'll ask for it.
But, yeah, that goes for all the lights. That we reported a couple of months ago, at least a month's worth for every one of those reported. And these 3 continue to be out.
There's 3 of these that's continued to be out.
Well,
one that
2,
got
there's at least 2.
Okay, still out.
But the one in the curve, we can only ask for refunds for the months that we reported it, although it's been out for quite a while. Anyway,
You reported it about 3 months ago.
yeah, we got at least 3 months worth of refunds we should be getting. On the fire hydrants, did you contact Birmingham Water Works to find out how many we are actually paying for?
We are paying for that one,
Okay,
and all of them that we've got on our list.
So we
We're
got
paying
8.
for all of them. And yes, and that one is, that one was taken off of that
the
revenue
individual.
of the
okay.
individuals.
I thought we had taken care of
When
that.
we started paying for it, it was taken off of it. So I don't know if he's, why he thinks that it.
Okay, well, I need to let Curtis know.
She said that if they're getting it on their bill by some chance, they need to contact Birmingham Water Works Board
Yeah, well, that's
and
what,
let them give them a credit.
we need to let Curtis know that so that he can pass that
I don't
information
have a
on.
number or way of reaching him. So,
Call Brenda
all
Lowe.
right, I'll call Brenda for that.
She can get the information to him.
Okay.
Okay, the directional signs up there in the curve that was taken out by the automobile accident, they were replaced the day after we called it in and to the commissioner. And I think we're still waiting on the county line town limit sign that they're getting for us to replace the one that was knocked down by a car a couple of years ago now.
We're still, so we're waiting on the town limit. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Because they had to order that one. All right, and Chief Miller and I have not been down to Jefferson County EMA as of yet. So that was just the update information on those items. And now to my agenda, let's see, we've got street lights. After the meeting, I'd like to ask you about this. We got wires hanging from a power pole down here. It's apparently an abandoned cable wire, and nobody will take ownership of it. Anyway, I'll talk to you afterwards. See if we have any course of action there. Drain cover still out.
Kyle is in the street working on the street sign, so
Yeah, I
maybe
saw
somebody will
that.
pitch him and point him in that direction.
Yeah. All right.
He's got one sign up, going, tell them about the one down the next street down for Steel Park.
Circle.
Yeah, right there in the circle. And it's time down, I haven't been down there really to see that, but the rain still down.
Okay. Were you supposed to call, or was I supposed to call about the combination of the door?
Oh, I did.
Okay.
I called, and the man hasn't come out or gotten back with me. the guy did, I called him to message, and the man at the lock company did call me back, and we discussed it.
Okay,
And he was supposed to, he said, I'll have to come out and look at it. So he was supposed to get back to me and let me know when they were going to be out here, just in case I wasn't here. So I haven't heard from him.
okay.
So maybe I need to call the company.
If you would follow up on that, and
I'll follow up.
we'll pursue that. And we'll get the hydrants information taken care of. All right, on to new business. My first item I have on my agenda is we have a resignation letter from Brenda Philpott to the mayor and council members. It is due to my health that I must resign as a clerk of the town of County Line. I've enjoyed working with each of you and wish the best for our town. Please accept this resignation on this 14th day of January 2019. Sincerely, Brenda J. Philpott. So, it wasn't totally unexpected, but just waiting on her to make up her mind. I hate that she's had to resign. Okay, with that, I would like to council make a motion to appoint Lucy as the town clerk instead of the assistant town clerk. And we need a motion and a
I make a
second.
motion, we appoint Lucy town clerk to replace Brenda.
All right. Myrtle made the motion. John seconded. All in favor? All right, it's unanimous. And Lucy Colley, you are now our official town clerk. And thank you very much for all the help that you've given to Brenda over the last couple of years. Not just the last few months, last couple of years.
I feel just like Brenda, like she said in that resignation note, she wishes the best for the town. And that's what we all want.
Right, and I don't have it this month, but next month we will pass a resolution with a certificate of appreciation for Brenda. We'll take care of that.
Town clerk.
Since 2012,
Oh, when y'all started?
Okay. She was our clerk when we came into office,
Really?
and she's been with us ever since. She will be missed, and again, we thank you, Lucy, for everything that you have done for Brenda and for the town.
Glad to do it.
All right, I have an item, new business, Town Street over here. I had someone come to me about Town Street needing gravel, a new layer of gravel, because it hadn't, I don't know when the last time gravel was put down. Yeah, when they built this park and built that walking track, the red rock was spread on that road, and that was just not the correct type of gravel for a road. Anyway, it is starting to get in bad shape, and we need to work toward having it gravel spread and holes filled. So we'll probably have to, I don't know where we get gravel from, who would haul it.
That's the only place you can get it down there at Doll Peter now. That or over at Wade.
About Warrior, is that what you're talking about? What's in
Oh,
Warrior, right in the middle?
That gravel, you talking about the concrete plant?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the right kind of gravel, is it?
I don't know, it be a road surface.
That gravel? Yeah, he's he's got a guy haul something on the off on top of there with punch bags.
Well, we need to have somebody haul it in, but also spread it. But I'm not sure but we do need to go ahead and take care of that, because that is in Jefferson County, and Blount County's not gonna take care of that. And
You want somebody, it's gonna take a price to load, you're gonna have to have a
Several loads.
to do it. And
well, I guess we need to,
when I think about that, I think about Delta Dump. Who get,
Yeah,
their
they've got
boys,
somebody
their
that's
boys,
ready.
they've got some boys down there, if they're still there, they can layer it down. They'll put
Well-
it down and you won't need anybody to touch it.
we'll really need to get some estimates.
Is it eat up
They
the
get some
potholes?
estimates on it.
Has it got potholes in it?
Several,
Probably need scrape.
It's gotta be scraped then before it's put fillers.
we need to, like I said, we need to contact some of these places that will provide that kind of service and get them to give us an estimate.
So is it,
And Love's making it.
Who's that?
Love,
Jason Love got the equipment to do it with. And also another guy that does it, named Curtis Guthrie. You know him? Eugene, you should know him. He's been around a long time. But they got both of them. Well, Jason does a lot of that.
Okay. Well, if you would, give that information to
oh, I
Lucy.
got, I probably have Jason's number in my phone.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll need to go ahead and I wanted to bring it up. I know we can't do anything today, but hopefully by next meeting, we'll have some estimates on which we can act and get this road taken care of.
Okay.
Yeah, but we only go back so far. We're not going all the way back to the houses back there. We'll go back,
Let them do their drives.
yeah, we'll do it within the town limits. But that's it. So, all right, if you would, go ahead and make contact with some of them and let's get that moving forward.
I will need to know how far back we're going back there. I'll need to know that.
Okay, well, we can look at the town limit sign or town limit map and you can tell how far back it goes. They go back that far, but we'll look at it on the map when we get through here.
Okay.
Okay. All right, next item on my agenda. It says we've been getting money from Blount County, from the moving Blount County forward. And it says we're restricted on what we can use those funds for. We need to establish a new checking account specifically for that money so that it is not commingled with anything else. So it cannot be interpreted as being spent inappropriately. So we need to go, I guess, to the bank and initiate that process of establishing a new account for those funds. That's just
Well, what are you calling these funds?
Blount County, or moving Blount County forward funds.
that can only be used for safety and
Education, roads, and it has to be road in Blount County, it can't be on this side. Roads and education. So, but again, just so that we don't have problems later on trying to justify expenditure or account for the money we receive from that fund, we do need to have a separate account. So, let's go ahead and get that initiated. Okay?
All
All right.
have we gotten, we haven't gotten any yet, have we?
Yes, we've been getting it for several months.
Which one is that?
Uh,
I wonder if this one, because I'll have to write a check out of that. Probably, did I put it in the general fund?
It's probably been,
So I'll have to
Being
take
put
it out
into-
there and open the account for that.
right, and we have been getting it since the first of last year, I believe. It's been in effect since January of 2018. So we have, the first couple of checks, I think, were hand carried to us. And then after that, it's been one of the automatic drafts.
They're auto drafts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we need to make sure they go, once I open that account, I need to make sure they know there
Yeah.
is a different account they need to put it in.
Right. So, anyway, we should have done this before, but
Yeah.
we haven't. And I kept forgetting to put it on my agenda. All right. The last bit of new business I have today is I'm going to turn the floor over to Greg, as he's got a presentation for us.
Thank you, Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, council, it's good to see y'all. It's good to be back here. Congratulations to Mr. King being on the council now. What I want to talk to you about tonight is what could be potentially an opportunity for the town. It would require some action on the part of the town, but it wouldn't require any money on the part of the town. And it could end up becoming a revenue source for the town. There are 266 acres down Deans Ferry Road that has been mined and has now, the mining process has been completed there. Half Coal Company was the coal company that was stripping the land, and they have finished. Now, what is being proposed to the town, if you wanted to annex that in, R&S Tire Recycling would like to locate a tire recycling facility on that 266 acres. Now, that property would be accessed from Reed Schoolhouse Road off of Highway 79. Wouldn't come out of Deans Ferry Road. The town could potentially, if it were to annex the property in and permit R&S, you could enact a tonnage fee. Just rough estimates, 50 cents per ton, which is marketable among other municipalities and local governments that have such facilities, regulate such facilities. Preliminary estimates is in that 1 year, within a year, could potentially be $5,000 a month revenue to the town. It would require permitting and a business license. And that permitting process is where you would enact your tonnage fee. They would have to report that revenue to you each month, how many tons of tires came into the recycling facility. It would be metered out, remitted to the town once a month. Environmentally wise, it's environmentally neutral. It's tires only. When the tires go out there, they would have to be permitted by ADM. It's managed and overseen by Alabama Department of Environmental Management. They regulate it. They inspect it. Tires are environmentally neutral to the environment. Now, if any of you keep up with Blount County, the town of Cleveland rejected the same kind of facility in an old strip pit. This is a different kind of setup because the trucks wouldn't be coming through your town. Trucks that will be coming in and out of there will be smaller vehicles that have been coming in and out of there with coal operation. So what I brought is a couple of maps to show you the property that's involved and to answer any questions you may have about it, and to gauge tonight only if there's any interest in the town in pursuing that. Currently, this property is not in your town. It's not in your property tax base. It can be contiguous to the town. And it would be annexed into the town with the understanding that y'all would enact a permit ordinance, grant a business license and a permit. That would allow the operation to then go to ADM and get permitted and open this facility. Would you like me to show you the property first, or you want to ask questions? I'll take however y'all want to do it.
Who owns the property?
Same property.
It's already got tires on it then.
No. It's been stripped by Taft Coal Company. And they cannot be another
mining, strip mining permit put on that property right now. Is that right?
Yeah, there are no tires on it right now.
No tires on it, but it can't be stripped. As of last month, it can't be stripped because they can't get permits to strip it.
Okay, if they put the tires up, what are they gonna do with the tires once they get them there?
Well, they would repurpose as many as they could. Some of these facilities make bumpers, machinery bumpers out of them. Some of them resell them as used tires that are still usable. You know, there's multiple used tire stores around. What couldn't be repurposed and what couldn't be resold would be buried.
Okay, they won't be any burning or
No, ma'am.
anything like that?
ADM will not approve a burn permit for tires.
Isn't there a tire dump right down the road?
Over behind
Yeah, that is classified as a construction and demolition landfill. They take tires also. But we receive no monetary benefit from them.
Environmentally, how long does it take for tires to, a lifetime,
Decompose.
decompose? Good.
I don't know that they ever completely decompose. I know that within 30 years you can build them. So that's, I won't be worried about 30 years from now, but, you know,
Yeah.
30
Can I
years.
ask
Yes, sir.
Mr. Reeves, that's the one that Bud Adams owns? Is that the same landfill that Bud Adams?
This one is not, no.
Okay. I know he's got one, but it's very, very strict.
If you've ever been to the one that Mr. Adams runs over on County Road 9 in Blount County, it's I believe Town of Cleveland missed opportunity.
This is the one that Cleveland,
No, it's not the same.
not the same one.
But, you know, those folks have right to do what they want to do there, but what you had there is the same thing you had here, is reclaimed mining land. It ain't gonna make it any worse. It's only gonna improve it. Certainly would have improved the site in Cleveland tremendously more than it was now, because it's a high wall and a pit full of water. And, you know, when you go in there, this facility is less, would be less infrastructure put into that than it would. But it could be an opportunity for the town to, one, regulate and generate some revenue. This property is not in town now. The owner's willing to annex it in. And I don't mind telling you, I'm here tonight to answer questions, but I don't want you to vote on anything tonight. But if you are interested, I would draft you an ordinance, a permit ordinance with a permitting fee, and also the petitions to annex the property, and I'll come back next month and ask you to vote on it, if you're interested.
But, I mean, what I'm looking out for are the people that live on Deans Ferry Road and all. I mean, there wouldn't be anything in the environment that would cause them to get sick.
There's no burning. There, I said environmentally, when you bury what can't be repurposed and what can be resold, it's environmentally neutral.
But if they catch on fire,
They catch on fire.
Having this one down here burned a
I'm not
couple of
there.
times,
No.
this one down here happened.
There was
What,
a,
across the
Part of
road?
the ADM management part of it is to bury them in such a manner, when you do have to bury them, where that they can't catch on fire. That's part of the regulation.
Too. They have to bury them tiles every night before they leave.
Yeah.
That's
Sure
covered,
do.
too.
Certain amount of dirt's gotta be put on them before they can leave.
Yeah, ADM is very strict on the way the procedures that are used. And I understand that Bud has run uptight, a first-class outfit out there. But I think in Cleveland, I think one of the biggest drawbacks of Cleveland
Traffic.
is the traffic.
Traffic is a problem,
And-
which will not be a problem for the town county line because the ingress and egress from this facility is going out Reed Schoolhouse Road. Same way that the mining traffic.
The mining traffic was bad, because I was part of
Well,
Well,
but with this type of landfill, I know we've had a bad taste with landfill in our mouth, I mean, from years ago, but this is not a municipal waste dump.
No household garbage, only tires. Now, there would be passenger car tires, large truck tires, go-kart tires, but they'll be tires.
But land is useless anyway. Then they can't build on it now, can they?
No.
No.
I mean, it's been mined and everything. It's really useless until they put the tires in 30 years after it's still.
I would submit to you that nothing that this facility would do to that property would make it any worse than it is right now.
That's right.
Well, I just don't want anybody to
Yeah.
get sick that has allergies or anything, if they're gonna be burning or,
There's no burning now. And the benefit for this town is you're not gonna get any traffic from it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I think the only thing you're gonna get from this is a check.
Yeah.
And say, in 10 years, can they apply for a different kind of permit?
They have to come back the same process.
So they could eventually say, we want to put medical waste here.
No.
No.
No, without our approval.
They can't without this group's approval.
Okay.
And it has to come back for us for a change of permit.
That's what your permit ordinances say. You're gonna permit them for a specific class of material. Now, right up the road here, you got construction waste. You know,
It's got everything in it.
Well, let me just say a couple of things here. The possible revenue that this would bring to the town could provide us some money to provide some services that we have all wanted to do from the very beginning. And policemen, or policewomen, with $5,000 a month, we could at least get a part-time policeman.
now, it would take some time to get to that level where we project
Right.
within a year, possibly, to be up to that amount.
But with that, if and when we can start providing a police service along with the benefit that we're providing the volunteer fire departments for our area, those things constitute services to the police jurisdiction, which then will also open up more revenue to us. Then we can start getting permit and business license fees from WCA and the other businesses down County Line Road. And
You have to spend as much on services as you collect from those in that.
which wouldn't take much. but just Alabama Power alone, that would just about double our fees from them if we expand out into the police jurisdiction.
Well, and like I said, I'm not asking you to vote tonight. I'm here to answer questions, to present, show you the property, present the proposal to you, and to gauge your interest in it. If you tell me tonight, Greg, we don't want no part of that, thank you, but no thank you. There's no hard feelings here, then I'm gonna move on to Plan B. But this is Plan A, and this is the first presentation that I've made like this. And, I've worked with you folks before. I'm not gonna, my reputation worth more to me than to come down here and try to put something on you that ain't gonna work.
Sister motivated about telling how close it is to many houses. It's right across the holler from my house, 2 hollers. I can be there. If I could walk real good, like this young man can,
I can't walk good.
if I could walk real good, I could be away 20 minutes. Okay? I wish y'all go ahead and do that, something with it, okay? Because it would benefit all of us. Because right now, there's nothing going on over there. And you might want to get Greg here to check on the code for a bit. I understand what a guy told me from Taft the other day, that nobody can fill the code, okay, on the permit is red. And y'all really need to.
Well, I just don't want anybody to get sick from it. You
Yeah,
know?
there's not gonna be nobody get sick.
Won't be no blasting on this, nothing.
And see, in the cold, when they cut a strip mine, there's blasting and dust and all that.
Mr. Mobile owns this
This
property.
is a whole different setup, though.
He's giving us first chance, right? That's what it is.
What about potential rodent problems?
Well, they have to handle that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
But
they have to
Ada,
bury them each day. So if the rat's gonna live in the tire, he's gonna get buried in the tire every day, so.
Greg, can I add something to that?
Yes, sir.
I worked for Jefferson County in the landfill for a couple of 3 years, to cover what he was talking about. They have to cover for the runoff water. Everything has to go through a pumping system, holding tank, and ADM comes out
ADM
there.
comes out and regulates
Check
this.
that, every month, every week, every month.
You know, on a regular basis.
On the, right, yeah. So that might hit your question.
So, we're not gonna see 18-wheelers coming down
No,
Main Street right here, turning on these roads.
They're going in and out up there. They're gonna come out up there where Donnie Hicks' shop's at.
Yeah,
Yeah, on Lehigh
you
Road.
live that way?
Yeah.
I need you.
All right, you know where the gas station is?
Yes, ma'am. You talking about on 160?
No.
No, way this side of Locust Fork.
Yeah, 79, the two
All
stations.
right, the street, if you're coming from Locust Fork, the gas station sits right
Yes,
here.
ma'am.
The next street to the right is Lehigh Road.
okay.
They'll come in and out that way.
And on Reed Schoolhouse Road.
Yeah,
Which is all
Yeah,
that.
compared to-
Oh, we-
comes back in.
They can also come in on Philadelphia, could have been up Philadelphia, take a left.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can haul coal, I can haul coal out of that up there, Calvert, Youngblood, for years and years. Same way you're talking about going in and out. And it ain't gonna hurt that road. We tore it up a long time ago.
If you wanna come around, I'll show you what we're talking. This gray, this is the county line. The gray here is your current town limit. This right here. Your town limit ends off of Dean's Ferry Road right there. What they will do is annex a 50-foot strip there, and this is the property here. This is your current, this little square right here represents the end of that square right there. It'll come in a 50-foot strip, it'll go across this quarter section, and across the section line, so this is the property, this is the 266 acres. Right here, we've already tapped. If you want to look at it for reference, it's in these two sections. As far as there's about 120, I think, in this, or about 100, there's a section line, there's a 40, and then there's, the balance of it is in this section right here. There's a whole quarter that's taken in, and then the most of it's right here. And this is Reed Schoolhouse Road. And then we go out to Highway 79. Would not be coming this way. This is just to bring it into the town.
And where does it go in County Line? Off the,
Right here, right there. That's, and I'm sorry, I don't know how far down Dean's Ferry that is. I'm sure y'all do.
City limit sign.
See the limit sign, they can see the limit
But it would
sign.
turn to go, this little section right here is this,
Right.
right there. And it would come out, go up, actually, not that direction, come out, go up and into the property. And it's in these two, section 1 and section 12 in the township.
And it's 288 acres,
266.
266.
And that's the property what Joe and Harmon know what too, on the far end.
I'm not certain, so I don't know if that's, I know it was what Taft told me from the mine operation.
I think, and most of this around here is timberland, is that on the outskirts of the property?
It's undeveloped.
And on above that, I'm gonna call it the upper end, Greg, if you don't mind. On the upper end, Harmon owns probably 100 acres on the upper end of this.
It's a former mine property too.
Yeah, former mine property. Because the mining company had a little joke running, you know. 'Cause both parties sat on top of the high wall, kept a load of coal we hauled out. Hello, Eugene. But y'all please consider that. And two, I don't know where, I think Eugene may know this, and Greg may know it, but on the road away on Ridge Schoolhouse Road, they had to resurface that road. Donnie Hicks resurfaced it twice while I was driving to it for it, because I had to put a bond up on it. You may be involved in that, Greg.
I wasn't part of that.
Okay, that would be up to them people over there, but, you know, I know it's got about the road won't be no problem, but
I think the weight
the weight,
is a lot less, the tires and the
yeah,
coal.
right, like that. Y'all please consider that, because
It won't be the traffic that cause was either, the number of trucks.
Well, it'd be smaller trucks. You wouldn't have a tandem.
Smaller truck with a big trailer like.
Well, or it could be like a rollback truck with a cage on it.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's not
like a cattle truck.
the actual weight of the tow truck can bring. But, that again, it's coming out to 79, not through the town limits.
and say if they come in from the other way, can I add this to it, Greg?
Sure.
If they come in from the other way, they have to come through the town of Hayden, because they come off Armstrong Loop and run through there to hit Cedar Springs, run across that bridge.
She come by Philadelphia Church.
Yeah, right, they come in that way, but that would be up to town of Hayden to let them come through there now. So,
think that won't come through there,
no, but, you know, we got people trying it.
I've done it a long time.
Yeah, well, I would too.
Years.
I'm here to answer your question.
Well, how long would it take in the process? I'm gonna put the buck on all of us, because I live in this town too. But, if y'all voted on it next month, how long would the process will be before they opened up?
I was optimistically probably 60 to 90 days before they could get. And it's going to take a while to build a business. I mean, they got to go around to get people to,
Break the tires.
you know, pay them to take the tires. So, I mean,
One of the questions that I have now, if we approve or annex the property and approve the permit from us,
we have
do we still
to,
have to go through the county?
no, wouldn't have to go through the county if all the properties in the town. Now, the county would still get tipping fee off of it, but they don't have, the county would not have any, they couldn't kill it.
You wouldn't have to go in front of the solid waste solid waste board.
Yeah.
Okay. But since I'm a member of that board, I was curious about it.
I think if you grant them a permit and a business license, they can then go to ADM and apply for a permit there. And once ADM permits them, and if they pass the inspections to open, then they can begin operation.
Okay, would you have to have any public meetings on it?
If y'all wanted to have one, you could.
Does it have to be posted in the paper for?
Is that required by ADM now?
That's what I'm asking. Is that
Even though it doesn't have to go through, it may not go through.
I think you would probably need to have one.
I think they changed the law. It's, couple of sessions ago. And I know that Bud had to go through all these, had to have a public hearing, a public meeting, informational meeting at Cleveland before it even went to the solid waste board. And he had to make public announcements, had to be in the paper, and a whole bunch of steps.
I think your posting requirements, you gotta post it here. But I can find that.
I'm gonna, y'all can do what you want to, but I am gonna have to recuse myself from this because of my membership on the board and the stand I took against the, that I voted against it. I was the only one on the solid waste board. But, and we have to let y'all know where I stand. I'm in favor of it, but I'm not gonna make a vote.
Who's the mayor posting?
Well,
I just feel it's the best thing for me
the
to
only
do.
thing that would hold me back would be environmental. You know, for the people around,
That's one of my concerns because
Let me put it to you like this. This place right out in WCA,
yeah, what,
it's twice as bad as what you're talking about putting in right here.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's already twice that bad.
Because the demolition job is demolition job.
Right.
And they throw
I mean, they
everything.
need bad system on it. They, right,
Except
they
they
do it bad.
asbestos and
If them sheets down there below the house and rattling out windows, and that's going on now.
People throwing the garbage in there because they.
I know, I understand what you're saying, I'm agreeing.
They throw garbage.
None of that would go on, none of that shooting and stuff like that would go on.
but see, there is so many elderly people in here now, even me, you know, and,
You shouldn't have anything.
and I just don't
shouldn't
want
be any
nobody.
issue.
Everything that I've been told or read or found out about tire recycling facilities is they are environmentally neutral. They don't add anything to the environment, they don't take anything away from it.
They
Once
just
they're
fill up
big.
the space.
They're
Probably the worst thing that could possibly come from that landfill would be dust.
And they have to
And they
control that.
water that, and they water it close down most of the
That would
time.
be part of
anyway.
ADM, plumbing, that part of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing's gonna be airborne because you're not burning it, and it's just like car tires. I mean, I see a lot of positives for the town as a result of the tipping fees that we potentially want to see that do a lot for the town.
Jay Scott is hauling down here at WCA. He grinds up tires, brings them in. He's hauling about 6 loads a day and then
Oh, yeah, I see them, they come in, I see them all day on flatbeds coming in.
Those are those tires across from it that's laid out there.
Yeah, this,
Even the independent hauler,
that's
environmental with mosquitoes.
Well, the whole thing about
That's the one
tire
that got
dump,
caught on fire.
and but I appreciate you including yourself, because that's a good move, okay? I appreciate that. But I'm gonna tell you, we need something to energize some energy and funds, because there won't be no shooting. Right now, they shooting down there above the house and knocking us off of the map. You know, on these cloudy days, y'all know what a shooting does on a cloudy day? I was involved in a lawsuit on account of that. Eugene may remember when Kane Food had been, they shot Warrior, blowed all the windows out of Warrior. I mean, cloudy day. Because it hangs low and it goes up. There won't be none of that with this. And I know for the fact that they don't get covered every night before they leave. They up to anywhere from $250,000 to $300,000 fine per fine. Because I was involved in some of that in Jefferson County.
like I said, tonight, I'm not asking you to vote, I'm just asking if you're interested in it. And if you are, then we'll present you with an annexation petition. And we would ask y'all to ask and enact a permit ordinance with a tipping fee on it. Now the going rate 6 cents a ton.
Our current business license has been since the time for landfills.
Can we go 51 cents?
Huh?
Can we go 51 cents?
Count the pennies.
I'll count.
Anyway,
And, and like I said, I'll try to answer any questions y'all have. I mean,
Now, why are you having to recuse yourself?
because I'm on the Blount County Solid Waste Management Board, and when Bud Adams came in front of the Solid Waste Management Board for his permit in Cleveland, I was the only one that voted against it because of traffic concerns. And I drove that little road. He was going to use 2 cars can't pass on that. I mean, that was my reason, and I don't want to. The reason I'm recusing myself is because I don't want anybody to say that I voted against him
to get it
to
here.
get it here.
Right.
I mean, I just
Okay, well, what are they gonna say about us?
well, that's the
Because we fought not to get.
municipal. We bought a municipal
can I
landfill
address that?
that was too close to our houses, our homes. That was 1,500 feet from my home.
Yeah, mine too.
But this,
I think you're talking about apples and oranges.
yeah,
Tires don't smell.
Yeah.
When they're buried, there's no odor from them. They're environmentally neutral. I would rather have 1,000 tires as one bag of medical waste.
Oh, yeah, me too.
There's
That's
no
why
amount of money,
I
there's
fought so
no amount of
hard.
money you can give me to bring medical waste on or near my property.
Yeah.
Now, I would invite you to call around to see what some other facilities do. The route is not through the town, so traffic is not a concern. And if it's not a good deal for you, it's not a good deal for you. I'm not trying to sell you something, but I think there is an opportunity here for the town. I work with several municipalities. Number one problem they all have is money.
Yeah.
And the second problem that they have is their citizens want services. And they ought to, there's nothing wrong with that. They ought to be able to ask for service. But you can't have services without money.
Right.
True.
And so, if I would leave you with one thing, the choice you have to make is this. 20 years from now, probably not one of you will be on this council. I will venture to say.
Yep.
Somebody else is going to sit in those chairs. They're going to face the same opportunities and obstacles and challenges that you all are facing. Are you going to leave that seat better than you found it?
Right.
And if you leave this town in better financial shape than when you found it, with a steady stream of income, and this won't last forever. I mean, there'll be a time when they won't permit anymore there, and then it'll be gone. It'll be done. That land will be there to be reclaimed. But when you get to that point, I would hate for you to look back and say, "Man, we missed the opportunity. We could have really done something for the town of Kennewick." Because with money, money's not going to solve all your problems. But there's some problems that you have that ain't nothing but money will solve. And I'm not asking you to sell out your citizens. You're not doing that. You're making a long-term decision to benefit the physical soundness of this town. And there's trade-offs. I'm sure everybody would rather have a Publix. And the money comes with that. But they ain't coming everywhere. Right? I've been representing the town of Hayden going on my 7th year now, I think. People stop me at the gas station. Why can't we get a grocery store? Why can't we have it? Why can't we have it? And one of their questions is, why can't we have a police department? Well, a police department on the lowest scale costs you about $85,000 a year. Bare bones. Bare bones. But it's a good $85,000 to spend if you got it. If you don't have it, you're left hanging out there. Now, I was born and raised in Blount County. I moved off, and the good Lord allowed me to move back. But Blount County is not a wealthy county. I think we've elected a good man as sheriff, but he can only do so much. He's got the same problem y'all have. It's money. It's money. Now, I'm a little reluctant to say this, but I said this is our plan A. It's the first stop we've made. If y'all tell us no, it still may go in. We just go with the county, jump through their hoops. And hope Buddy's no different on the solid waste board next time. So it's not a question of whether or not you're going to not have it there. I'm going to tell you there's a 98% chance it's probably going to be there.
Yeah, who's gonna get the money?
Because we're about as close to Trafford as we are.
Right.
That's plan B. Yes, sir.
On the permit for tires, can that be tires only and never changed? So we're not sitting here 20 years from now, somebody else sitting on there, and they want to add something else to that up?
I can't tell you, it could never change because I can't, and you can't take an action that's going to bind the future council. That's against the law. Hopefully, 20 years from now, or 25 years now, whenever that group's sitting here, they're going to say, previous council did this, it worked out okay. We don't need to take a chance on, previous council didn't let in medical waste, but they did let in tires. And here's what we got. So, to answer your question, I don't think any of us could know.
Is that a yearly permit?
I think you can do it up to 3 years. I think it's probably a year, but it may be as many as 3 years. But it's a permit that if it ever changes, you got to come back to the town.
Well, my question is, say it's permitted and put in, and then they are just running it and tires are getting burned, it's not what they said. The town can say, okay, we're not permitting you.
Not only permits, not
Right.
going to give you any business license.
Right.
So let me tell you one thing that's going to happen before that happens.
Yeah.
My fee's going to get to go way up because I'm going to be sending somebody in Montgomery in front of ADM for about $4 million worth of fines. So they cannot burn.
Right.
ADM will shut them
I'm
down.
just saying, not just burning.
Question won't even come here because
Right.
ADM
I'm
put
just
that
saying,
on.
if they, if they're dumping something else or,
Well,
something not specific.
ADM makes on-site inspections
Okay.
periodically.
So that is took care of, the city don't have to do anything.
City's not got to go out there and inspect
They
that.
gotta
All
do
the city
that.
gotta do is get the permit.
City's got to permit it, and then it allows the operator to go to ADM to apply for a permit.
Okay.
And ADM has to approve it.
And ADM
has to approve it
Alabama
even.
Department of Environmental
Okay. So like the EPA.
State.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Point A. If y'all don't get it, Trafford's gonna get it.
Exactly.
Because Trafford city limits goes right to that point down there. I can walk within 5 minutes from my front door steps and touch Trafford city limits. Because they've been a strip, y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Already across the property, the strip mine is down there in city of Trafford, and I'm not right. Okay, so if y'all don't take
Trafford.
advantage of it,
Trafford comes this white piece right in here. That's Trafford to the limit.
right. If y'all don't take advantage of it, Trafford go eat your lunch.
And they don't have a place like
No, they'll go for it. Because
Go for it, hard
We'll be expecting Channel 6 News and all that to bid on this too.
I'm not calling them.
It's been on.
But the one thing, we're not gonna hide the fact
Right.
that we're considering this. If somebody asks, we talk to them about it, but we're not gonna do like the last council did and try to hide it from.
And I'm not ashamed of one thing I presented to you tonight. I have, you know, anybody wants to ask me about this, you know my number.
I don't see anything.
The system motor talking about building on it, I can tell you what, 2 housing projects is on, not project, what you call it, like where y'all live, subdivisions that build on landfills. Go to Edwards Lake Road in front of Gardner Pontiac, on that hill, that was the Jefferson County landfill. Go right down there at Homewood on top of a hill, that was the Jefferson County landfill. Helped build both of them. Now they got houses on them. So 20 years from now, they could be a,
You're gonna get property tax off of it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Got Trustle, Roper Hill, up top of Roper Hill used to be a landfill.
Landfill,
They got beautiful homes out
beautiful
there.
homes on them.
But I really, brother, you can smell the dump every night, burning. Stink.
well, I think ADM regulations require that from the time an entire landfill closes, 30 years from that date, then they can construct or build something on that site. But they allow 30 years for it to settle and
That's primarily
Neutralize.
because of compaction, not necessarily.
Yeah.
so anyway, but it's, anyway,
So would the town have to put it like the paper and say, you know, this is something that the town's trying to propose?
no, the town doesn't have to put anything, unless we hold a public hearing, then we'll we'll publicize that. But, at this point, I don't know that we're gonna have a public hearing. Again, I think they'll have to decide or determine what's required by ADM and the state laws, as far as permitting goes.
First, development. Government. What the town would do is say, we're gonna permit that facility subject to passing ADM permitting inspection and operation.
If it gets to where it won't pass ADM's inspection, they'll put a lock on the gate.
What we need to do,
Well, what does the council think of this proposal?
Okay, you men know more about that than I do. I'm just looking out for citizens. So whatever y'all decide,
Well, we want it's not a hard decision.
well,
It's solely, but I appreciate what you're saying. But yeah, we're all acting on behalf of the citizens
that's
of
right.
County Line.
I know, because I know how hard we fought the other one, but it was medical and all
Also.
of the garbage, body parts and all that stuff. And,
You don't have the risk with this one that you
Yeah.
have.
That's right.
but as long as there's no burning
Your
or
citizens should
anything
not
that
have
people's gonna breathe
Ill
out.
effects.
And
from this.
I don't think you have to have it, but you can put it in your permit that there's to be no burning there.
No burning and establish a fine for burning.
An expensive fine.
Well, I mean, that's a possibility, but, ADM's gonna be watching, they watch them all. And they, like I said, they do a periodic inspection, I don't know how often, but it's very regular.
ADM is gonna watch it a whole lot closer than you'd ever be able to do.
Yeah. They not only look at the ground, but they look at records, their bookkeeping and everything else.
How many
It's
loads
just
are
not a-
brought in,
Yeah.
cited, they-
you think they just have a special meeting to Should we vote on it? I mean,
Well, or, number one, I think what Greg is asking us, of us tonight, is are we interested?
I am.
I'm interested.
So I think that's the bottom line. If we're interested in this proposal, let him know, yes.
all in favor?
Anybody opposed to it?
Everybody in favor?
We're not really voting on anything, we're just giving our opinion that, yes, we're very interested.
Well, there's two questions, really. Is it better for the citizens to have it? Is it better for them not to have it? That's, I mean, really, if it's better for them to have it, and it's gonna bring revenue in, and it's gonna help this community,
Well,
then that's 100% yes.
The question really is it better for it to be in the town of County Line
Or Trappers.
or somewhere else?
Right.
Yeah.
but, and if we do get this facility, 99% of the people in County Line and the surrounding area is never going to know it's there.
Now, you made a statement a while ago about a police. Can I add something to that? Y'all know there was a bad wreck down there in front of my house the other night.
I heard of that.
Cut the road down for an hour and a half. Guy come from Dean's Ferry, from the river up there, 4 teenagers, smoking them left-handed cigarettes. No police. Mr. Price, you know who I'm talking about? Kevin David Price. Good guy. I was standing beside of him. He asked this young guy, I said, how fast was you running? He said, last time I looked, the speed up there, I was running 65 coming up to that guy's house. He hit a truck in the back end, knocked the rear end out from under. The axle was sitting down there, but you know what the trailer, the pipe is the trailer, the axle was sitting down there. He told that state trooper, said, I was running over 60 miles an hour the last time I looked. It had been for Van over here that all left the scene. Van kind of got real bad with him, I did too, but anyway, that was one profit, that was profit to town. Because y'all know, Buck County ain't got no money. I've been on Chris Green's phone line the last 3-4 weeks about getting extra deputies. He told me there ain't no money. No money. No money. Okay, if y'all get some revenue coming in, we could get a part-time police to help slow some of that speed down.
Now, this is also gonna make money for Blount County too.
Yeah, Blount County will
Not
get
just
a tipping fee.
County Line has a tipping fee too. A lot of that fee goes to benefit volunteer fire departments.
Yep.
So actually, it's helping County Line and the fire department's gonna get money off of it.
Which helps us again.
Helps us again.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, and like I said, as I mentioned earlier, if we start providing services like the police and assisted fire, and assisting the fire department more, that expands our police jurisdiction, or it expands the area in which we can collect, at least in police jurisdiction, they would pay half of what the business in town pays.
And have sales tax ready.
And have 2 cents sales tax in town, and the police jurisdiction would collect a penny. So that gets us closer out to Highway 79 and, was it KQ?
So without providing, without having that service, County Line can't collect
That's right.
tax money.
BJ tax, right.
Okay.
We have
So
to
it's
provide
hard.
services.
And let me say this, if you were to be able to with a police jurisdiction, reach a facility like LKQ or one of the convenience stores or something, they don't care about paying the police jurisdiction tax, because they're passing it on to their customers. It's a sum zero gain to them. And they'd probably like to have the added protection.
LKQ is a couple of $1 million a year
Oh,
business.
absolutely.
So. Might have to excuse myself just a minute.
What you're saying, I mean, as a community member, it sounds like it's gonna go either way. Why not let the town make money off of it and help the town?
I'm all for it.
I don't think it'd be a bit better or a bit worse than what we already got. I can't tell no difference.
We got 2 trailer parks that dumps in,
There's more harm.
It may help you clean up away from the facility more than you would have to clean up around the facility.
They got raw sewage going on the ground up there at the trailer park. So I imagine the environmental health is gonna be better than what that is.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
well,
That's
since
the place out
they
there
don't done
that's
it on
worse.
my house at the trailer park the whole summer. And I
That's
know
like
the
a
people,
garbage
they
dump
called
out
Blunt
there.
County Health Department 3 times before they ever come out there. And the lady come out there and looked at it and said, oh man, y'all got a problem. Those things there, she been there, that was it.
Craig, do we have a health department in Blunt County
Yeah.
that come out and
There's one there,
That's all.
and I'll leave it.
They ain't got no money to
They got a building. It's out there across the old hospital.
That's all you need to say, buddy. That's all you need to say.
I would love to go disturb somebody up there about,
Well, Mr. Calvert's right. Blunt County don't have no money. That's not good. They don't have any money. They don't have money. They don't have any money.
I call him out, he didn't have to spend gas or nothing, let his just paid his lunch back.
But
I didn't take him for lunch.
one of the opportunities that local government has, and y'all about as local as government gets, is at some point in time, you kind of have to take control of your own destiny. I'll give you for example, the best one I have that I've been involved with is the West Blunt Fire District. That organization, I was the chairman of it starting in 2012. We had no firemen. We had rundown equipment that wouldn't crank half the time, and they owed $300,000 in debt. We went to the community, and we said, first thing we did, we put back in another board that was physically responsible for every dime that came in. So we accounted for every dime that came in and every dime that went out. And it was transparent about it. At that point in time, fire dues were voluntary at the rate of $100 a year. Less than 22% of the people were voluntarily paying their fire dues. It's no knock on the folks, but it was voluntary.
Yeah.
Charity starts at home, and we basically had a community meeting, and the community meeting said we need to form a fire district where we can have mandatory dues and everybody pays their fair share. Blunt County has a local law that allows you to enact a fire district, and there's a procedure you go through. You have to do a certain number of signatures, you have to have a referendum, it's got to be on the ballot. That area that West Blunt covers is around 60 square miles. Now they have 4 stations. At that time they had 3. Covers 60 square miles. They were running anywhere from 80 to 100 calls a month, 60% of them medical calls. And so we basically said, okay, we get the signatures up, we get on the ballot. We got on the ballot, and then we went around to every church that would let us in, to every community meeting, and we said, here's what we do. And we called it what it was. It's a tax. You're voting a tax on yourself, but here's what it's going to. And we had 2 or 3 years of track record of being fiscally accountable with the money that we did get, which wasn't enough. But we went in and in November of 2014, the citizens of that district voted 2-1 to enact fire district. They voted on themselves a tax. And I like to say it this way, is they took control of their own destiny. Because here's what was going to happen. We didn't have any money to go forward. And the first thing we were going to dispense with is being able to answer medical calls. You had one assisted living facility. You had numerous elderly individuals. And that service was going away. Well, nothing we could do about it. We're going to answer fire calls and that's it. But people said, we want that. Well, they voted it in. And then it became our duty to make it run right. And I can tell you today, it's been one of the most rewarding organizations I've been involved with. It's debt-free. We've applied for, because we were well-run, we applied for and got 3 years in a row federal grants from FEMA. We bought 3 new fire trucks. We built an additional fire station in Nyota because you couldn't get a fire truck to Nyota. You had to come to Warrior, come down Warrior Trafford Road, and go back into Nyota. Couldn't bring a fire truck load of water across the railroad bridge or the wooden bridge there at Sibleyville. We had spare engines since we had gotten those new ones. We built a fire station over there, got a $5,000 grant from Kawaka. We built it for about $30,000. It's a post-frame building with a concrete floor. It's a nice-looking facility and it's in a community. And we now have dropped the fire rating from a 7 to a 4.
That's huge.
So the average, and my goal was this, when we started, is I wanted the average homeowner to save more in homeowners insurance than they were paying in fire damage. 2 or 3 people have come up to me. I know one person has saved $400 a year. The least I've heard that anybody saved is $180. And my Blount County country math says they're $30 to the good every year. So that, folks, is effective government. But you can't depend on somebody else to do that. You have to take charge of your own destiny.
Yeah.
And you have to be in charge of your own outcome. And you can do that if you've got. We have the funds to do it with. We collect now where we were getting less than 22% of the people were paying $100 a year. We now have 80% of the people that are paying $150 a year. And the department's well run. We have paid firemen in 2 stations round the clock. One has 1 and one has 2. And I'm proud of it. But I'll tell anybody, that's good government. That's good government. That's what we're supposed to be doing, is where we take control of the situation. We didn't send our money to Montgomery or to Aniana or to Washington. We kept it right there, and we did what we're supposed to do with it. And that's where it starts. You can do the same thing, but you can't do it without your money. So I'll move my soapbox aside. But I think this is an opportunity for y'all. And I think that y'all are good people. Y'all are good, common sense, well-reasoned folk. I've dealt with you enough to know that. If you get that money, you're going to do the right thing with it. And you're going to set the precedent for who sits in that chair after you to do the right thing with it. And so I'd be happy for you to consider it, and I think it's an opportunity for you to take.
Well, judging from the response, I think we were definitely interested.
What I will do is Mayor, I'll draft you a proposed permit ordinance.
Okay.
And if y'all, do it have to be next meeting, or if y'all want to call special meeting, you let me know. It'd be your pleasure. And I'll also draft a petition for annexation to present. The annexation requires a resolution by the council. It's contiguous property, so it can come in pursuant to Title 11. So all you have to do is vote yes or no to bring the property in. Now, I will say this. Property owner don't want it to come in unless you're going to permit it. If you're not going to permit it, it's going to have to be de-annexed. So, that's only fair.
That it could be worded as such in the annexation. The same stipulation that Drummond Coal for that proposed annexation never took place. They still got the agreement, but maybe one day they will. But I doubt it.
It'll increase your footprint of your town too, which gets you closer to other things, which is never a bad thing. I tell about every town that I work with, there's really no financial benefit in annexing houses. That's pure expense. But when you're annexing and bringing in business, that's where you can grow your revenue, you can grow your base, and begin to offer some service.
Well, that would be the main reason I would support this move, to be able to provide additional services to the town.
Because we're not going nowhere, we're just sitting here spinning our wheels.
Yeah, and we are definitely financially better off than we were when we got here. But, all right,
Well, I think
all right. Any other questions or comments?
Buddy, since you working on signs, you stated a while ago you was working on some signs.
Well, we got some signs ordered.
Would you mind getting the Commissioner Washington to get a speed limit sign? And maybe a children's play sign on Dean Ferry Road?
Well, children playing sign, we won't get. We've already been through the engineer, Blount County engineer about that a couple of years ago. Speed limit sign, yeah, I'd like to ask him about that.
The trooper Price said that would help him tremendously, because he said when you pull somebody over, the first thing they do, they say, you ain't got no speed limit signs up. But, correct me on this, Greg, in the state of Alabama, if they don't have a sign on car gravel road, it's automatically 25 miles an hour. Is that right? From the DOT regulations?
I don't know the answer to that. I know that all Blount County roads, if it's not posted otherwise, 45 miles an hour.
Yeah. So could you see if we can get a speed limit sign?
Does Hayden have a police department now?
Yes. They can't patrol yet because they're pending an ROI number from the FBI, which is what you have to report arrests and stops and tickets and into the national database that the FBI manages. So that is that application was put in back in October, and we finally made it through Alabama Law Enforcement Agency to the FBI, and then the government shut down. So we're hoping that in a few days we'll get that number, but
There was a lady made a comment on Facebook that she got a ticket on 160 for doing 55 and a 35. And I'm friends with her on Facebook, and I remembered her about a month ago saying they really got to do something about the speeders on 160. And I went back and scrolled through a month of her Facebook to find it, and I'm like, I was right. She was complaining about the speeders, and then she got a ticket for speeding in the work zone. And she was wanting to know why she got a ticket for going over 35, even though there was no construction workers present. It was at night. It don't matter. It's still a construction zone.
They got the signs up 24 hours a day.
It's just a double
I
speed
got
limit.
one.
If it's a double fine if workers are present.
that's the, there's a group of folks, and y'all encounter them all the time, and they'll come in and say, we don't want our town or our municipality to grow. We want to keep it just like it is now. But we sure would like to have more police protection, better fire service, and can you bring us a few more stores in here, we can shop at. But one don't come without the other. And so
You're ready to change, but you don't want change, yeah.
Going back to the street signs, speed limit sign, on Dean's Ferry, we do need some. Any other place in town that
Carl Brazil Road too.
Coppersville?
They still got some, city limits on Carl Brazil.
Okay.
think you could go that nice and cold,
You shouldn't be able
You reckon you do that? You reckon
I'd
you
be
do that?
afraid to.
All right. Okay. I have nothing else on my agenda.
Make a motion, we go.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All right. Gene made a motion to adjourn. Steve seconded. All in favor? All right, unanimous. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much for coming.